One of the lead stories out there that we've been following with Joan Jones, and we have a little bit more on, is the story of the murder of Jerry Morton, shot in his bedroom. We talked about this. Walt Hunter, who does the Crime Guys on Sunday night, broke loose some of the fact that this was not a random act of violence, but premeditated. We've been talking about that. Now the headline in today's Philadelphia Inquirer says, did the Montco slaying victim, Jerry Morton, have two wives? He planned to leave later in the day to visit his new wife in Morocco. All right, joining us is the head guy on top of this case, friend of the Big Talker. Good to welcome back Montgomery County District Attorney Bruce Castor, Jr. on the Big Talker 1210. Hey, Bruce, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Dom. Thanks for having me on the program.
Well, isn't it amazing how many times Michael and I talk with you? We always say Montgomery County has some of the most interest, from the naked guy all the way through, some of the most interesting cases with twists that are out there, because, you know, there are times where a man, sadly, or somebody is shot in their bedroom and all that, but the twist, is it true that, do you know if this guy had two wives?
Well, that is what we believe now, yes. The victim's wife told us that, and we have no reason to disbelieve it. There are some factors that tend to corroborate that, like as you mentioned in the intro, that he was going over there the day of the slaying, and we have certain other things, the diary entries and whatnot. So, I mean, yeah, it fits it within the dictates of the Muslim religion that this is permissible, so all of those factors tend to support that conclusion.
And you found, is it true, too, in court documents, Bruce Castor, there's a marbled black and white composition book with a handwritten note inside from the wife?
Well, we found that handwritten sort of a diary type entries. Now, we don't know yet that it's her handwriting, but it certainly seems to be the likely conclusion, you know, where it's found, and it fits in with the facts, and we do credit it as her recollections of certain events, and it fits in with the theory that we're developing.
And is it that in this document she signs off reluctantly on this idea? Would you characterize it that way, where she talks about the idea if she doesn't want to go with this, but he's going to go with it, she has to submit to this, I guess?
Well, she said she was persuaded into it, and the early indications that we're getting from the people we're talking about who are giving us sort of background on Islam is that this multiple wives situation is permissible if the main wife says it's okay. Now, what constitutes okay and how you go about getting there, we're not too clear on yet.
And this, just so listeners know, Bruce, it's against the law in Montgomery County, state of Pennsylvania, and the United States to have multiple wives.
It is. That's true. I actually was trying to give some thought to that, because the crime occurs when the second marriage is performed. And would I have jurisdiction over that if the second marriage was in Morocco? I haven't figured that part out yet.
Bruce Castor in Morocco. See what I mean? It's just amazing how this
We don't have a lot of crime, Dom, but when we do, it is interesting.
Okay, now let me ask you, experts you consulted with, of interest to me, Bruce, is because the paper, of course, goes to a group where my name is Mud, so you know going in, the Council on American Islamic Relations CARE. They say it's a minority practice throughout the Muslim world, and it varies from country to country. Your experts are saying this would be within the mainstream scope of the faith, possibly.
Well, the information that we had is that this is permissible. Now,
right.
How widespread it is,
okay.
I don't know. I mean, certainly you wouldn't see it in Pennsylvania or
right.
or in the United States because of the national laws against it. But there certainly might be countries that have large populations where this is not frowned upon.
Anything else in the case, anything you want to tell us that might not be in the news, or you want to correct, or impressions that have been out there? I think the takeaway from Risa the other day was this is not somebody who's home invading. It's not something that people have to be afraid of in Winpain Township or across Montgomery County. It's more of a localized event with this guy.
Well, yeah, certainly the early reports that were based on flash information that we had some burglar loose in Whitpain who was breaking into houses and killing people in their beds. That certainly is not the case. I mean, Montgomery County is a very nice place to live, and does that happen? Yeah, but it's so rare that you don't look in that direction first. I mean, murder investigations, and I've said it oftentimes, are not as complicated or as glamorous as they're on television. If somebody is dead, you figure out who might have a reason to want that person dead, and you begin eliminating people who have a reason to want them dead, and the person who's not eliminated is the one who gets arrested.
Pretty simple stuff as always. Hey, Bruce, thanks very much for the time today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Dom. Take care.